Hello and welcome to Bored and Confused, where I review shows based on two criteria. One, was I bored? Two, was I confused? Today's show is Ava, The Secret Conversations, written by and starring Elizabeth McGovern of Lady Cora fame from Downton Abbey. This is a play about Ava Gardner, and I'll admit I didn't know a lot about her going in, but luckily the creative team felt that might be a case for a lot of people, so they included a timeline of her life in the playbill, and I appreciate that. If you need the audience to know something, put it in the program. I read it, I felt caught up, and I was ready to go. Now, the conceit of the play is that Gardner has fallen on hard times. She's recovering from a stroke, she can't work as an actress anymore, and she needs money to pay off her debts. So she hires a journalist named Peter Evans to ghostwrite her autobiography. That setup is actually real. In 1988, Ava actually did hire Evans. They worked together for quite a while, but she eventually canceled the project after learning her ex-husband, Frank Sinatra, had successfully sued Evans for libel. The material they produced sat in limbo into 2013 when it was finally published as Ava Gardner, The Secret Conversations. Elizabeth McGovern has now adapted that book into this play, stepping into Gardner's shoes herself. Now on stage, it's basically a two-hander. Ava is played by McGovern and Peter Evans is played by Costa Ganis. And there's the third actor, Chris Thorne, who mostly voices other people, primarily Evans' editor and a few offstage characters, and he pops in for a brief scene. But at its heart, Ava and Peter, it's two people. Now, if you don't feel like reading the book, this makes for a very efficient crash course on Ava Gardner's life. 90 minutes, a lot of ground was covered. Was I bored? Not really. It's short, it moves pretty quickly, and the subject matter is interesting. Was I confused? Sometimes. But first, let's talk a little bit about the performances. Now, McGovern's acting technique is excellent. She takes us from a wide-eyed Southern girl from North Carolina to a Hollywood starlet, and to her marriages with Mickey Rooney, Artie Shaw, and Frank Sinatra, and her relationship with Howard Hughes. And through her later years, when the Southern drawl gives way to the mid-Atlantic sophistication we all associate with her now. She moves between the past and the present seamlessly, playing Ava as she's recovering from a stroke one moment, then snapping back to a memory of her youth, and it's technically demanding work, and she nails it. Costa Ganis as Peter does double or really quadruple duty. He not only plays the British writer, but also takes on the roles of Gardner's three husbands in flashbacks. His Frank Sinatra was especially impressive. At one point he sings, and I genuinely thought for a second that it was a recording of Frank Sinatra. Nope, he was singing live. He's that good. Now, was I confused? Yes, in a few places. The play starts with Peter talking about how to begin this book, or maybe how to begin this play, and it gets a little meta. Then we meet Ava, and their first interaction doesn't really go very well. She's prickly, he's defensive, and I thought, okay, why is she going to keep him on? But then the editor's voice just declares, you got the job. And that felt to me like it was a missed opportunity. I really wanted to see what it was about Peter that hooked Ava. Was it that he challenged her, that she was attracted to him, that she liked his boldness, his mind? Instead, the relationship felt more like a conceit that we needed just so we could have the play. And I wasn't sure if their chemistry was romantic, professional, combative, or all three. I wasn't really sure what we were doing with their relationship. Was it something that I should invest in as an audience, or was it just a device? And that really kept me from engaging emotionally with the play. Now, the play spends a lot of time early on with Peter, so much that you almost wonder if it's going to be his story. But don't be fooled, this is Ava's show. And what we get is Ava unfiltered. She talks about her regrets, her marriages, her sexual appetite, her insecurities, her vulgarity, her fear of judgment. She's candid and she's complicated, and I found that very endearing. And this kind of structure for this kind of play isn't new. You know, you have a famous person, we need an excuse for them to talk about their life, so we introduce a biography or a therapist. I was actually reminded of a play called Looped by Matthew Lombardo that played on Broadway in, I think, 2017. And Looped depicts an actual 1965 recording session in which an intoxicated Tallulah Bankhead requires 8 hours to dub a single line from her final movie. Tallulah was played by Valerie Harper, and she was great. The play was hilarious. Ava Secret Conversations is a little more restrained. There are a few laughs, but it really leans more into the intellectual or the historical than the comedic. So was I bored? Only a bit, because I wasn't really invested in the relationship between the two characters that are on stage the whole time. Was I confused? Sometimes, but overall, if you want to learn about Ava Gardner and see Elizabeth McGovern give a terrific performance, this is a great night at the theater. But if you're looking for a wild comedy or something theatrically groundbreaking, you might be a little underwhelmed. So, Ava, The Secret Conversations runs at City Center until September 14th. Rush tickets can be found on Today Tix for $48. It's a very intimate theater, so wherever you sit, you'll be close to the action. Thanks for watching, and please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you at the next one.
Don't bore me, don't confuse me. If you do, then you lose me. Don't wanna drift away, wanna stay inside the play. Keep me engaged, keep me amused.